Hey, I'm Alex Ratcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is News and Week in Review, which I kind of skipped last week. In fact, I really kind of skipped last week. Last week, for the record, before we go into all of this stuff over here, last week was the first time in like 2 years that I didn't have a week in review. Or forget that, it's the first time in 2 years I didn't have a video go up on Saturday. Which was a complete accident, not intended at all, just happened to work out that way. In fact, I had the videos filmed, I had the videos scheduled, I just had them scheduled for the wrong days, and so nothing actually went up. And if you don't know, I'm generally offline Saturdays, which means I didn't figure out until I logged in Saturday night, and a little bit too little too late saw that Saturday was a day with no videos. Which just bugs me, because I had them. Like, it's not even like I had a good excuse as far as, I don't need a good excuse. If I miss that day, I miss that day. It just bugs me because I had the videos prepped and ready to go. In any case, we're not going to focus too heavily on that. Let's start off this video with what the title of the video said. I assume the title of the video said it, but Pax Unplugged Giveaway. We're going to have a Pax Unplugged giveaway over here. Basically, Pax Unplugged, if you're not familiar, is a gaming convention that will be taking place, I want to say December 2nd to December 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what we got. December 2nd to December 4th, 2022. And we'll be giving away 5 badges. I'll be giving away 5 badges, or more specifically, Pax is giving away 5 badges, but through my channel, so you can check that out if you want. In order to enter for that, just go ahead and enter in the comments down below. I don't even know. What's a good thing to do? I mean, we could just do Pax. That seems simple. Fine, will be boring because I didn't think of something clever. Enter Pax in the comments down below. P-A-X. As long as those 3 letters are anywhere in your comment, you are eligible. Well, anywhere in your comment in that specific ordering. If you do have a P here and an A there and an X there, that won't work. You need P-A-X together, and as long as you have those 3 letters together in a comment down below, you'll be eligible for badge giveaways. This is all handled through Pax. I take no responsibility for what happens. I will pass on your information. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I apologize in advance. As far as any other information like cutoff times and all that, I'll have that in the description down below, so check that out. And likely, I'll have the winners announced next week. Likely. Sometimes I'm terrible at actually remembering to announce the winners. Sometimes I just draw them and forget to film that. We'll talk about it. Oh, also, general reminder, whenever I have the word giveaway anywhere, never reply to anyone who wants you to reach out to them on Telegram or WhatsApp, any of that. All things will be handled through alex@boardgameco.com. If you're asked to pay for something, double check that the terms and conditions said something like that. Just try not to give people money on the internet because I can't take responsibility for that. So, like, really, 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 please don't be a victim to scammers. Yeah. Anyways, that's our PAX giveaway. Past that, the World Series of Board... wait, one more thing. Over on Twitch, we'll be giving away some more badges as well. There'll be some more badges being given away over on Twitch and Camp Co-op. Make sure to follow and subscribe and watch for information there. I don't know exactly when they'll be given away on Twitch, but at some point they'll be given away at Twitch, so on Twitch, so you can check that out as well, in case you want more opportunities to win, and I guess 1 maximum per person. I'm not going to give 2 to the same person. Seems reasonable, but it's a full convention badge. From there we have WSBG. Lots of WSBG stuff going on. I'll have a recap video going up tomorrow. I'm realizing my window's not properly framed. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But either way, WSBG had the World Series of Board Gaming winners. We had the World Series of Board Gaming just took place in Vegas. I attended. That's where I was last week. That's why I kind of had things scheduled and was off my game, and I have all the videos scheduled and prepped to go. I'm still upset. Whatever. We're moving past it. But WSBG, World Series of Board Gaming, just took place, and it was a blast, an absolute blast. I really enjoyed it. Apologies for the cutoff screen over here, but we had a whole bunch of winners over here. All these 16 event winners over here. Then we have Richard Boyes, who stomped me in 7 Wonders. I lost my first game of 7 Wonders to Richard. He destroyed me, and then he proceeded to win the entire 7 Wonders tournament. Past that, the actual full-on winner is, I apologize, it's cut off. I don't want to resize the screen and all that, but we have Hanshi Lee. Hanshi Lee is the full champion, winning the $25,000, winning first Blood Rage, becoming the winner of Blood Rage, then from there winning Carcassonne, and then from there winning Dune Imperium. In order to win the World Series of Board Games, you have to win your game that you picked, and then at least 2 other different games, and Hanshi Lee went ahead and won that. In second place, we had Clifford, and then third place, we had Brent Jekyllin, who didn't plan on winning anything, came in from Canada, bought himself a 50th birthday present to enter the competition, and happened to win Catan, and then had to change his flight and plans and all that stuff, and then went ahead and won Acquire, and then from there took 3rd place in Dune Imperium. And in 4th place, we had Luca. Again, there's interviews for all these things over on the Real Series of Board Gaming. I'll throw a link to the YouTube channel down below. But this is a very cool event. I'll be talking more about it in my video tomorrow if you want to see that. I really enjoyed this event. Highly recommend you check it out, especially for next year. It was very friendly, very, very chill, not like cutthroat and annoying. And it was just a very chill, very relaxed event that I really enjoyed and highly recommend you check out if you like gaming conventions, because there was plenty of gaming. Whether you're in the actual events or on the side, there was just plenty of gaming the whole time, and is very warm and friendly. From there, we have Deadpool 3, I want to say. Deadpool 3 over here. Basically, Deadpool 3 announced that Hugh Jackman's going to be in that. Why are we talking about this here? Because I like geek culture enough that when things really excite me, we mention it. So if you wanted to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine teaming up with Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, which he hasn't done since the original Shall Not Be Named, basically we have Deadpool 3 coming out with Ryan Reynolds, with Hugh Jackman. Ryan Reynolds was a given. Over in the Hoplomachus side of things, which is less whatever, we have some unexpected bad news, which basically they caught a bunch of issues with the printings, and they unfortunately resulted in a bunch of delays. They had a whole bunch of duplicate ships and all these things going on in Hoplomachus Victorum, and unfortunately that has resulted in delays to Hoplomachus, which is not great for people waiting on it. It's not great for Chip 3 Games. They put all this money into advertising and all this stuff, and it's like, and now delays. It's not great for anyone involved. Sometimes mistakes happen. It's unfortunate. And for the record, they gave me a sword, so when you're like, oh, of course Alex is defending them, they gave him a sword. No, Alex defends a lot of people. We do it on a regular basis. But yes, I do have a sword as well. But yeah, Hoplomachus, Chip 3 Games, just disclaimer and all that stuff. In any case, moving on from there, we have Renegade Game Studios expands to a Hasbro Gaming Classics partnership. Basically, Renegade Games is in some way doing some sort of a partnership with Hasbro, where they're going to be releasing and distributing a bunch of their games, including coming out with newer versions of some of the games. So yes, you can expect to see new versions of Axis and Allies, as well as reprinted versions of those that have gone out of print in some way, shape, and form. I'm not promising that Battle of the Bulge is available. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know yet. But in some way, shape, or form, Renegade is partnering with Hasbro, bringing titles that weren't available, bringing titles that are available, and bringing titles that will be available. In general, to all these news pieces, we'll have links down below. You can check those out. Then over there on Gamefound news. Another disclaimer, I work for Gamefound, but Gamefound news, we have basically just a small little update as far as different things going on. They do these general blog updates, more creator focused for what's going on, but in case you want to know, I'll lightly be touching upon them in videos when they have them. But 2 small updates this week. They generally put out updates every single week. I won't always be talking about it, only when I think it's relevant to you. And to that end, we have 2 small updates. First of all, you can now comment on blog posts. So this blog post you can now comment on. Previously you couldn't. This is the update that you can now comment on the thing that you can now comment on. But in other news, they also have more updates as far as your backed projects. One thing that people have been requesting a lot of is better way of seeing and sorting and filtering and just going through your own backed projects, and they now have some of that added in there. So they put out that update, a little more ways to be able to more easily navigate what you backed and go through all of that. Which brings us to game news, starting off the bat with my favorite piece of game news, which is Come On announced that they are having Cthulhu Death May Die Season 3. That's what I have. Which, by the way, realizing now, just happened to look over, this shirt was not intended. This shirt is what happened to be what I happen to be wearing today. The lords and the gods and the undead elder ones, whatever it was, kind of decreed this might happen. But yes, Cthulhu Death May Die Season 3. I've been waiting for this for a super long time. Very excited for this one. Very, very excited. Come on, just as a heads up, you know I love Cthulhu Death May Die, so you should definitely totally send me a prototype. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing I'll be favorable, but there's a decent chance. It's one of my favorite games of all time, so come on, let's hop on the phone and talk, because I want Cthulhu Death May Die. I definitely want Cthulhu. I'm so excited. I've been asking for this for a very long time. For those who have not had opportunity, I still wonder if they'll do some sort of Season 1, Season 2 reprint. They've never really done that, come on, in the past, except for Marvel United, which was association with Spin Master. So I don't know if that's going to be something that they're looking at as a change. Like, will they reprint Season 1 and 2? No idea. I want them to, because I would like other people to have access to those, and it's not like I'm selling my copy, so what do I care? But I would love them to, but we'll see. Time will tell. Ultimately, I'm very excited. I hope this is a big one, because Cthulhu Death May Die is one of my favorite games of all time, and I welcome more content for the experience. From there, we have Ticket to Ride Northern Lights, just another Ticket to Ride version coming out. This is actually a little older news, but I happen to talk about today. Then we have Castle Mad Queen Ludwig Renovations, a Kickstarter announcement for this. Notify me on launch. Again, links to all the stuff down below, but an expansion to Castle Mad King Ludwig. We have Monolith. This is from like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but Monolith has basically took on Orc Quest Warpath Resurrection. So if you wanted to, like similar to the way we've seen Steamforged Games taking on some titles, we're seeing Monolith now take on another title. So again, if you had any sort of affinity toward that game or interested but didn't look into it further, if you want to look into it more now, Monolith is dealing with that one. I just closed the tab. That's terrible. No. I'll have to remember that. We have Wild Gardens. Wild Gardens from Rose Gartland Entertainment. They had something North America. Can't remember the exact game they had, but they have something North America, I want to say. But either way, they have Wild Gardens, the new game that they're announcing, if you want to see more about that. Then we have over on Kickstarter, we have Haithabu. I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, I apologize. Haithabu Tribes of the North. No idea. I just popped up and I thought it was interesting enough to follow that one. And then we have Ahau Rulers of Yucatan, which is not really news per se, but Grand Gamers Guild is now distributing Ahau Rulers of Yucatan. In general, if you don't know, Grand Gamers Guild has their own library of games, but they also do pick up other games to distribute and to help other publishers with, and Ahau is one that looked very intriguing to me. I'm very happy that Grand Gamers picked it up, and I'm very intrigued for it. We'll see. Then we have The Thinning Veil. This one just looks very cool. In fact, the art in general almost reminds me of a cross between, here's what we got here, okay? We have Triskelion Games, The Thinning Veil. If you take a look at this page, it reminds me almost a cross between Three Tail, Beast, and an Awakened Realms title. Like, it has some really nice things going on to it. Very intrigued. It's a 1 to 4 player solo and co-op game set in a world of fantasy horror inspired by Celtic myth. Could be amazing, could be horrible. It just looked cool, and so I followed it. Then we have over there, we have Canvas Finishing Touches. I don't know if this is called, I don't know if this is officially the final expansion to Canvas. Just the nature of calling it Finishing Touches makes me think it is, but maybe it isn't. But Canvas, they have another upcoming Kickstarter coming, I believe, October 18th, I want to say. But they basically have frames and whatnot. So Canvas is another expansion. I'm sure they'll have reprint content for their other games, because that's what they've done in the past. But this is Canvas from R2I Games, from Moto Infamy Games. Over on Hasbro Pulse, we have Heroscape Age of Annihilation, which has 2,000 backers out of 8,000 required with 40 days to go, and a $250 price tag for a new version of Heroscape without the pre-painted miniatures, basically kind of combining the world of Heroscape with what board game production is nowadays, and very intriguing, but that price tag and the amount of backers they need, I don't know officially how Hasbro Pulse works, but it kind of seems like if they don't have the 8,000 backers, they're not going to make this, and I don't know if they're going to get those 8,000 backers. Hasbro Pulse, intrigued to see what happens next. Your move. Very intrigued. Very, very intrigued. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, we have over on Lucky Ducks, we have a Cosmoctopus, or Cosmoctopus, I guess, Cosmoctopus. But this is from Henry Audubon, who designed who designed Parks. This is being produced or distributed by Lucky Duck Games in some way, shape, or form, coming to Kickstarter, coming to retail after an October 2022 Kickstarter. I'm intrigued because I like Lucky Duck Games, I like Parks, I like Cosmoctopus. I haven't played the game, I'm just saying, who knows. Either way, I like the designer. Very intrigued for this one, we'll see. Then we have Roleplay Adventures, Gullpax's Secret. The expansion to Roleplay Adventures, a new campaign of like 8 or 9 missions. This is going to be a further continuation of the Roleplay Adventures, taking place hundreds of years before Roleplay Adventures, or I guess some point in the past, that's what it is. So you don't even need to have finished your Roleplay Adventures game. You should ideally have played Roleplay Adventures, but this is more content for Roleplay Adventures, a game that I'm thoroughly enjoying, should probably review sooner or later. But yeah, we have Roleplay Adventures, Gullpax's Secret coming to Kickstarter November 1st. Then we have Street Fighter V, Champion Edition Legends. This is coming to Gamefound. I don't know exactly when, it's supposed to be an October date, but oh my gosh, this is basically, I mean, first, this is something I may or may not have mentioned this in the channel, I don't remember, but this is effectively a Blacklist Games title, but being done with Colossal Games. Colossal Games is handling all the everything for this game, so any concerns you may or may not have around Blacklist, because, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Blacklist has had some delivery issues and production issues. If you are concerned about those things, very reasonable of you, but also Colossal is taking over this project and basically kind of working with Blacklist, so in theory, you should be trusting Colossal's reputation. Still not a guarantee of anything, that's the way life works. Still always a risk no matter what you back on Kickstarter, on Gamefound, BackerKit, wherever you go. But I do believe this falls into Colossal's umbrella, which makes it a safer choice. Obviously, I work for Gamefound, take that bias into consideration. But that's Street Fighter V, Champion Edition Legends. Speaking of bias, I played the game. Really enjoy it. Need to play it more, but so far really enjoyed it. That is Street Fighter V. Then over on Chip Theory Games. I saw the orange logo, I thought Oneb. Over on Chip Theory Games, they released a bit more information around 20 Strong. This is their smaller game that they talked about, but they have a bit of a blog post going a bit more into it in case you want to see more information. That's going to be coming to Gamefound October 18th. And then lastly, we have very exciting news, which is Stan Kodansky is putting out a game illustrated by the Mitcho, and it's going to be coming to him from his housing company, which is called, what's it called? What's his company called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking this. I apologize. Half the Kingdom Games. Half the Kingdom Games is going to have Nova Roma, a solo game from Stan Kodansky. Very excited for this one. Very intrigued. Wait, I apologize. Why did I think it was solo? It has a solo mode. It's 1 to 4 players. I thought this was a solo game. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought it was a solo game. It's not a solo game. It has a solo mode. Either way, art looks cool, game looks cool. This is from Stan Kodansky, who I believe I've liked everything of his that Nope, that's not true. Well, that's true. I've liked everything Stan Kononski has played, but let's take a step back. I have loved everything Stan has designed. The only game I have liked instead of loved is Dice Hospital. Dice Hospital I was fine with, but not in love with. Everything else Stan has designed, I've really loved, and very excited for this one. And that is what we have as far as the news segment. A very long news segment this week, and we'll go ahead and close that up. And with that, let's go ahead and talk about some other things, starting off the bat with our topic of the week, which our topic of the week is going to be very short. In fact, our topic of the week is not going to be a topic. It's going to be more of a video. Just while I was in Vegas, one of the things I did is I took a small video clip of Meepleville Cafe, which is a game cafe in Vegas, run by Tim from the Dice Tower, part of the Dice Tower network, runs Dice Tower West and all that stuff. I took a little bit of a video thing, and it didn't really fit into my WSBG content. I was like, that would fit well into my random topic of the week. And so with that, here's 3 minutes of me just taking a random tour of a board game cafe. So I just walked into Meepleville out in Las Vegas. This is the board game cafe out in Las Vegas. We have a ton of things. I mean, I can't do like a full tour. We'll see what we can do over here. But like off the bat, they have like a little retail section in the front. We got Ankh, we got Almanac the Dragon Road, which is delightful. Crimes and Capers, which I have a copy of, have not played yet. A whole bunch. We have Kathman, Cities of Tsarina from Capstone. I don't even know about this one. I haven't even heard of this one. I don't even know what that is. We have a Carcassonne Big Box, Small World of Warcraft. Got a whole bunch of things over here, but like I don't want to focus too much. Oh, Sheriff of Nottingham, 2nd edition. I actually haven't seen this one in person yet. This is the 2nd edition of Sheriff of Nottingham. I've heard that the 1st edition is like more sought after. We have Rome City of Marble from R&R. A whole bunch of Monopolies. This is the problem with being in board game stores. I have access to board games, but I want them all. But then we have this giant, like just the giant meeple type walkthrough that you can walk through over here. And then we get into like a bit of an area here where we have a few different areas to go through. And I'm only doing partial tour here, but this just had an opportunity. This is Tim from the Dice Tower West and Meepleville, and he does a whole bunch of things here. We have like the whole sections over here, just the different tables all set up for whatever it is you want. And then just section by section, we have most popular games over here. We have New to the Library over there, just tons of games. I'm gonna just pick random games at the shelf that I'm excited about because that's what I do. We have Vandala is a solid game. Vandala, we have Onaira. Oh my gosh, it looks like they got Dice Stone Marvel in. So they just got Dice Stone Marvel in, which this is one that just came out recently, so that's a new one, which is why it's in the new section. That makes sense. That tracks. We have Valyric Card Kingdoms, which is new. That's not new. That's just an amazing game. Then we have, like, again, there's tons of sections over here. We got Everdell, Sanctum. I need to play Sanctum. Dune Imperium, I need to play. Dark Souls. I just got Dark Souls from the new versions from Steamforce Games. Haven't played them. We have the whole Anachrony Big Box, Destinies. So many games. Lost Ruins of Arnak. I just played Lost Ruins of Arnak, like, I don't know, half an hour ago. But let's see what we got. Just a whole bunch of classic games, trivia, party. And again, if you're not overly overwhelmed just yet, that's because this is just the start of this section over here. Once we wander around over here, we're gonna have like all these like picks and different options. You know, we have Meepleville picks, we have Quick 30, we have all these things up here. But then past that, once you get in here, we have another nice little homey area back here with just shelves full of more stuff. So if we go over here, you can again see we got Immortals, we have Dungeon Lords, Metro. There's so many games. Like once you get to a point where like Matsukomen, what is this? Matsukomen. Okay, this is interesting. This is Afikomen. This is a religious game with matzah. Yeah, I have not heard of this game. I don't imagine it's great. We got a Dice Stone Big Box set over here. And again, this is just stuff over here. Whoa. So many things. But then, lastly, we just have more stuff. If we move down here, you can see over here we have a Dice Tower table over here. Welcome to Dice Tower West. And then we got shelves and shelves and shelves of just more and more and more. Amerigo on the top shelf, Twilight Imperium, Ninth World, so many things. This is Meeple. This is intense. This is a whole bunch of Meeple stuff. Very, very cool. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the little mini tour. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into the week in review, starting off with what I played. Now, there's a whole lot to catch up on because I didn't do this last week because I didn't have any data yet for last week. But that means in the past 2 weeks, there's been way too much stuff played, way too many things. Let's just go randomly from wherever I can try to figure out what's going on. We'll have some notes about some things. I don't know how far we'll go into this. So much stuff. I don't know how far back to go. You know what? Forget this. We're going to skip like a week of stuff. It just is what it is. I'm just going to try to focus on this past week, which means starting off, and let's go ahead and just start off with Wednesday. Wednesday, we had Seven Wonders. Played a game of Seven Wonders. I lost instantly. That was at the World Series of Board Gaming. Then we had Thursday, I played Cat in the Box. Cat in the Box from AEG. Really enjoyed that one. I thought I would, but I managed to get a chance to try it at the Dice Tower West Library. That was at the World Series of Board Gaming. Really enjoyed it. We have The Wolves from Hadrosaurus Games. Got in half a game. I'll be playing it more. Seemed interesting. Wasn't overly in love with it, but certainly enjoyed it. I'll be playing it more and covering it. We have Framework, which is another Uwe Rosenberg title, this time from Pegasus Bill. Really like Framework. It falls into the line of Nova Luna, Sagani, and Framework, and I might like Framework best from all three, but I'll go into that more in my review when I cover that. Lots of banging noises upstairs. We have Friday. Friday I played Lost Ruins of Arnak. Always love Lost Ruins of Arnak. That was no exception. Every time I play it, I enjoy it. We have Ready, Set. No, that's not me. We have Mechs vs. Minions. Mechs vs. Minions. Gotten 4 games of Mechs vs. Minions. I really enjoy Mechs vs. Minions. A solid game. I have not had a chance to play it for like years. I played Mechs vs. Minions way back when I first got it behind my head. It was at Dice Tower West, or it was at WSBG using the Dice Tower West library. Had a chance to play 4 games of it. Absolutely delightful. There's a reason I enjoy it. It's just pure chaos. I kind of want to just finish the campaign though, and I think I'm ready to move on from it once I do. I don't know if it's a game I need to keep, but it's a game I very much enjoy. Then we have later on Saturday. Saturday we played Brass Birmingham. I had a chance to play Brass Birmingham with the winner of the Splendor tournament. He basically needed to play a bunch of games because what if he needs to play those games? So we taught him Brass Birmingham, sat down, played with him. Always enjoyed Brass Birmingham. Love that game. We have Baron Park, which I got a chance to play, as well as Twilight Inscription, which I already enjoy. Although Twilight Inscription, I still like Twilight Inscription. I already reviewed it, I already gave an opinion on it, but I still like it. The thing that's interesting to me is the more I play it, I kind of have this weird sense that I may have figured out the optimal strategy for the game. And I have to keep playing with that, but if that proves to be true, it might ruin the game for me, which is tough. It's just the downside of continuing to play things after you review them and wondering if there's an optimal strategy. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, then we have a game of Basilica. Basilica from Portal Games. Had a chance to dive into that. I'll be playing that more and covering that at some point. Then on Sunday, I had played A Feast for Odin. A Feast for Odin is lovely. I haven't played that game in so long. I'm very happy I own it, as well as the expansion, and I hope to dive into the expansion shortly. Great game. Really, really enjoyed it. We have Wild Ascent. Wild Ascent, and by the way, for the record, for those wondering, because in the past I've said Feast for Odin was a game that I liked but didn't love, that's true. I played it a long time ago with somebody who wasn't quite as into it, and it definitely made the experience a little more good, but not great, and I got rid of it, and then I had second thoughts and got it back, and just haven't had a chance to play in the past 2 years, but really lovely game. Very happy I got it back and played it. Later on Sunday, played Wild Ascent, starting another campaign of that, going into Wild Ascent again, while I continue to wait for Levon Rising to show up. On Monday, got to play an Exit game, Exit Lord of the Rings more specifically. Enjoyed it. It's another Exit, it's Exit game. I still think I like the Unlock series more, but the Exit game is growing on me as I play them a bit more. Then I got a play of Patchwork in as well. Patchwork is actually going to be in the World Series of Board Gaming competition next year. It was not this past year. Then on Wednesday I got a play of Now or Never. And Now or Never is a great game from Red Raven Games. I've played it before. I was getting another play of it. Very solid game. Still thoroughly enjoy it. Although apparently there's a variant where you can play a shorter game of it, which I think is what I'll be doing in the future, because I think it's a great game, but I also think it's a great game that could afford to have, I think it can afford to be a round or two shorter, especially since the first round or two are fairly similar when you play them every single time. And then lastly, there's still plenty of things to go. Then later on Wednesday, we had The Rocketeer. I played The Rocketeer from the OP games. I always don't know if it's OP or OP, I don't know. But I played The Rocketeer. Decent game. I'll be going into it more and then covering it. Definitely decent. Don't know if it's a keeper for me, but certainly enjoyable. Then I played a few games of Welcome 2. Welcome 2 is always fun. Always enjoy that one. A solid game to dive into. And that's where we're going to leave off as far as what I played. A whole bunch more things from the prior week as well, but I can't dive into everything, which takes us to the week in review. Week in review, going over the videos of this past week, starting off with this past Saturday, where we had nothing. Yeah, that's right, we had no video Saturday. For the first time in 2 years, we had not a single video go up. It hurt, it was painful. When I logged on Saturday night, I debated like popping up a video. I was like, it's 10 o'clock at night. I don't have the patience for this. We're not going to do it. We're just going to skip a day and call it a day. It hurts. I know it's not a big deal. First of all, by the way, it is a big deal for the algorithm. The algorithm likes consistency, and so skipping a day is not great. That said, my channel still seems to be alive, and people still seem to be watching videos, so it hasn't completely destroyed things just yet, but it's not it's not a fate I want to keep tempting. But then from there on Sunday I basically did half of the videos I planned for Saturday. Sunday we had the week in review, which was not really a week in review so much as 5 reasons to not back Kickstarters. Then later on Sunday, or actually not entirely true, at the exact same time Sunday, because I screwed up the scheduling of these things, I messed it up so badly, the exact same time on Sunday, so at 10 a.m. we had 2 videos go up. I had 5 reasons not to go to board game conventions. Don't get me wrong, huge fan of board game conventions, but I think there's many reasons to consider skipping them at the same time depending on who you are, and I'm trying to be objective, but hey, here are a bunch of reasons why board game conventions might not be right for you, which is great because they're expensive. Also, they might be great for you. I've went through years in the hobby, 10 years in the hobby without going to a single convention, and had a blast in this hobby. Now I've started to go to conventions and I'm having a blast going to conventions. Both things can be true. Then lastly on Sunday we had a review for Spark Riders 3000, which was supposed to be a Saturday video that didn't go up because of my scheduling things, and that Kickstarter was ending. So Sunday was a 3-video day, which is never a 3-video day. Again, the algorithm. I'm very, very worried about the algorithm. Then from there we have Monday. Monday was 10 Kickstarters I was wrong about because I was out of town. I knew I wouldn't have time to properly research things. So instead of doing a 2-back and out to back, I did 10 Kickstarters I was wrong about. 10 Kickstarters where I didn't back them during the Kickstarter, hunted them down later in the most cases, and was very, very sad that, well, how to put this? It's just that there were Kickstarters I should have backed in theory and then got them later and was like, wow, I should not have missed these Kickstarters. And then on Tuesday we had a few videos as usual. We had a first impressions of Harrow County. It's a first impressions with like 4 games in my belt. The problem is Harrow County, the way it's set up, it's designed to be played in a progression over 5 games just to learn the experience. So the fact that I played 4 games still means I haven't seen all the content, so it's a weird aspect where it's, yes, I played it plenty of times. Again, 4 is arguably plenty, depends on who you are, what your situation is, but also not enough to call it a full-fledged review because I hadn't seen all the content. But overall, enjoyed Harrow County, a solid game on Kickstarter at the moment. Then later on Tuesday, we had a review for 3000 Scoundrels. This is one that it's a new game out from Asmodee, from, I don't remember the company. I thought it was from Ignacy Trevia. I can't remember the exact name, I apologize. No, Corey Knizia, designed 3000 Scoundrels, and I liked 3000 Scoundrels, didn't love it. I thought some of the elements that there were in the game were a little gimmicky. It was a good game, but not one I feel the need to go back to. And then lastly, on Tuesday, we have Wonderlands War. I did a review for Wonderlands War because of the upcoming Kickstarter. Love Wonderlands War. It's great. Game runs a little long. That's my biggest concern around it, but overall, it's pretty great. I hope that I can continue to get that game time down, because otherwise, it's going to be competing against other area control games that we love. The biggest problem at the end of the day is, like, I love Wonderlands War. I gave it a 4 to 5, great game. But also, in the genre of area control, a 4 to 5 does not make you safe. A 4 to 5 means I'm looking at you and wondering, will you get picked? So, very much like it, very much a fan of it, still staying for now, but does not have the confidence level of, you know, Blood Rage. Like, even Ankh. Ankh is a good example of a game where Ankh is a game I'm wondering. I've played it a ton, but I still wonder, will it stay or not, because it's a very tough genre. It's a very hotly contested genre in my collection. Then on Wednesday we had a few things. Wednesday is normally a live stream. Because there's no live stream because I was out of town, or, well, actually it's not true, I was back in town, but it was Yom Kippur, so I was offline. But Wednesday we had two videos. We had 2 giant boxes full of board games unboxing. This is a video I filmed like 2 months ago where I'm getting all these games to review for WSBG that I did film. Like, I filmed them all, and the schedule's been so tight I haven't had a chance to put them up. So all these WSBG Rule Series of Board Gaming videos that I reviewed Catan and reviewed Great Western Trail and Seven Wonders and all these different games, haven't actually put the videos up because the schedule's been so tight. On the plus side, I have like 40 plus videos in the backlog, so there's that. But this was obviously a time-sensitive video that did not go up when it was supposed to, which is not the bestest, but not the worst either, just amusing. And then later on Tuesday, we had a gameplay of The Loop. I had a chance to play The Loop. And in general, I think, by the way, Wednesdays are probably going to be getting gameplays. Wednesdays are probably going to be a live stream plus a gameplay. That's going to be the pattern I aim for Wednesdays. We'll see how that plays out. But as of right now, that's holding true with a gameplay of The Loop with Akiva, or AP, who's on the channel here and there. Really enjoyed The Loop. Fun fact, in that video, it kind of seems like we lost, but we actually didn't. I realized later. We didn't win, we didn't lose, we had more time to potentially win, and instead we thought we lost and closed up shop. Then on Thursday was the top 10 games pre the year 2000. I don't remember why I decided to do this video, but I decided to do this video, just picking games that are before the year 2000 and reviewing that. I'm putting my 10 favorite games within that subset or genre. That's all. That's what the video was. 3 of those games were Renegade Hasbro games because he's a fairly prevalent designer in that era. Then on Friday we had Games Leaving My Collection, which is a smaller Games Leaving My Collection video than usual because I've had several extra purges this past month. I had like a full Games Leaving the Collection purge video with Meg, as well as like a giveaway purge and just extra purges recently. And so to that end, it was a little harder to get to a full count, but we still got a chunk of games in that video, and there'll still be a chunk of games next video. There's always going to be games leaving the collection. It's just a question of the pace of those coming in versus those going out at any given point. Then that was Friday, which brings us today. Today we have a few things. We hopefully have videos for Frozen Frontier, a review for Frozen Frontier, an active Kickstarter, as well as a review for The Stifling Dark, an active Kickstarter. Again, I'm behind in some of these things. I've just been trying to cram too many videos into too small a time period, and it's just unless I want to put extra reviews up during the week, the entire week, I just have only so many review days. But so yeah, Stifling Dark and Frozen Frontier will hopefully be going up today. And then that brings us to next week. Next week we'll have a few things coming up. We'll have a WSBG recap on Sunday, like I mentioned already. We'll have what we backed later in the week, probably. I hope to have a review for Fit to Print, the upcoming game coming from people who did Cascadia, Flat Out Games, who did Cascadia and Verdant and Calico. Their newest game is Fit to Print. I'll have a review content for that, and that should be next week. And finally, that brings us to the games on the table. Just the games that, as usual, I hope to play this week. We'll see what actually happens. But we have Tentrix, which is a cool-looking polyomino game that's very Tetris-driven. Something about it stuck out to me as potentially being fun. I mean, I like polyomino games in general, but there are a dime a dozen at this point, so something about it just stuck out at me, and so I said that I'd cover it, and I hope it does well, because I generally hope that when I cover a game. And then we have as well we have Dark Souls, which I have not de-shrinked yet. Hopefully I'll be filming an unboxing of this soon enough, because I want to unbox this, as well as play it. This supposedly has a new rule set for Dark Souls, so take into account the feedback from players. There's 2 new core boxes of Steamforged games. Hope to dive into that. I also want to play Stardew Valley. I don't know why, I was just looking at the shelf, and this is one that I had a chance to play one time, but I want to play it again now that I actually know how to play, because the first time I played it, I had no idea what I was doing, but I hope to play Stardew Valley this week. And then lastly, Unconscious Mind, which currently, as we speak, is being shown off at Essen, and this is from the people who did Endless Winter, which is a fantastic game, so I'm very excited about this one. No idea if it'll be good or not. The pressure, this is one of those downsides. Like, one of the games I played recently is Copen Dying City from Holy Grail Games, and I really like Copen Dying City. But also, their last game was Encyclopedia, which I loved. And so Copen City, I really like. Encyclopedia, I loved. And there's sometimes you have that balance where you love a certain game from a publisher, and you kind of, at that point, you can only go down from there. Unconscious Mind, I mean, I don't know what the game is. I don't know if it'll be good or not. It might be amazing. It might be terrible. I don't know. But, like, for me, the bar is like Endless Winter. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I might like it. I might love it. I might not like it at all. Anything's possible. But at the very least, I'm excited to play it. And that's what we have. That is what we have for the news and week in review. A whole bunch of things. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a chaotic week. It's been a chaotic few weeks. It's not going to stop being chaotic. That's just the way life works. One of the things, one of those cute little memes I saw one time, which I'm sure I've said on the channel at some point or another, but why not say it again here, is life is texting your friend, don't worry, after the next 2 weeks, things will calm down until you die. It's morbid, but feels accurate sometimes. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an excellent week. If you're at Essen, I hope you're enjoying Essen, the convention, and all that stuff. If you're not at Essen, I hope you're having not too much FOMO about the convention. There's plenty of games in your shelves that I'm sure you love. And in any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. And I hope you have a good one.